Guys, crank it. You've got Jiggy Jaguar podcasting from www.jiggyjaguar.com.
Yes, indeed, it is the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast. We are live coast to coast on iHeartRadio today, AM, FM, 247.com. Tune in, iTunes, Radio Loyalty. I'm going to say Radio Loyalty until the day I die on this broadcast. And we have got a great guest we are going to go to here in just a few moments. She's going to join us live here on the telephone to talk a little bit about herself and all of her projects. Kristine Grant is with us here on the telephone. Kristine, welcome to the broadcast. How are you, my friend? Kristine, welcome to the program.
Oh, hi, James. So happy to be here.
So you have got a heck of a background. First of all, give us a little bit on your background.
Okay, I will start with the more recent. I was a psychotherapist, marriage and family therapist for almost 25 years, and alongside of that, I was also an educational psychologist. And along the way, I stumbled upon a very out-of-the-box, unique way to help people solve their relationship fatigue with anyone, their overwhelm, and the emotional baggage they might be carrying with a situation, a challenge. And anyhow, I brought to bear this unique way of helping people to find the right words for what they really want to say, to ameliorate, to problem solve, and to move forward and heal whatever is going on. So I'm dedicated to doing that, and I have a book out which is Relation Shift, and that's one word, Relation Shift, how to write the words you really want to say.
Fantastic. It is a great guest with us today. She joins us live here on our broadcast. KristineGrant.com is the official website. Go over to KristineGrant.com. Relationship expert and coach. She specializes in the art of communication for resolving any sort of emotional challenge within any dynamic within the scope of marriage, partnership, separation, divorce, co-parenting, blended families, family estrangement, friendship, or grief and loss. And she's with us today here on our big program. So tell me a little bit about your website, KristineGrant.com.
Well, first I want to invite anyone in the audience, any listener today, if they would like to go to KristineGrant.com, they can download a free guide. It's a little ebook entitled Magical Words, 5 Steps toward becoming a more conscious communicator.
Awesome. That is great.
I offer different programs for anyone who might be fumbling to, how do I resolve my current challenge? Or in some cases, how can I really express where my heart is truly at? And I have a way of helping people. It's sort of, okay, hang in there. You might be a little surprised. What I do, I'm sort of like a Cyrano de Bergerac in drag.
That's
okay?
awesome.
And if anyone in the audience remembers who that is.
That is probably the first time in ever we have had a Cyrano de Bergerac reference on this broadcast. Kristine Grant is with us today. KristineGrant.com. She is a word activator, which is a tremendous term. She brings back the lost art of the letter for rapid solution-focused problem solving. Her remedy for relational fatigue is that Kristine provides a unique, customized letter writing service that draws upon her background as a psychotherapist and her refined intuition. Kristine has provided her Inspired Heart Letters service for 17 years with rapid and remarkable results. So talk to us about this process and this whole thing that you've got.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, I'll try to make a long story very short. I had a neighbor, and when you are a therapist, people often pick your brain, friends, family, etc. So my neighbor was dating a gentleman, started dating him, and she said, he's a great guy, but that chemistry isn't showing up, and I don't want to hurt his feelings, and I'd like to keep him as a friend, and I just don't know how to deal with this. And so my response was, well, obviously, you want to treat someone as you wish to be treated, and you need to come clean with him. I mean, he was leaving flowers and all this stuff at her door. And so she said, well, I'm not good at that, and I know I'm going to feel embarrassed. I might even hurt his feelings. I don't want him to feel insulted. I'd love for him to be my friend. So anyway, I then said, well, why don't you write him a note if you're not good with verbal, conversation? Just give him a little card and write your thoughts, about how you really feel. She said, that's a great idea. She gave me her note to look over before she sent it, and I immediately tore it up. It was pathetic. It was the old, it's me, not you conversation, and kind of demeaning. So I rewrote it, lickety-split, gave it to her, and she said, oh, my gosh. Well, she gave it to the gentleman. They retained their friendship. He was an attorney. He ended up doing all of her illegal work on an issue that arose for her for free. And she started asking me for more messages, more letters. And then all of a sudden I was getting people calling me from, different states. Hey, I hear you write these incredible letters. I've got an issue. And it grew and grew and grew. And in the span of, what started out as a hobby nearly 17 years ago, I've written well over 500 letters as a hobby for people. But the results are incredible. One gentleman hadn't spoken to his daughter in 30 years. One letter, the daughter was back in his life. I mean, just really phenomenal things. So it's not, it can be anything from romance, reheating the souffle in your partnership or marriage, to a family estrangement or any fallout, or perhaps you need to better co-parent after divorce. The list goes on. I have a knack for this, and I have different programs on my website, the KristineGrant.com website. Different programs if you look on the site, and they can be customized to, you can write your own letter, I can give you feedback, we can come in for a consult, whatever the case may be. So, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It is Kristine Grant. She's with us today here on our big program. We are going to take a brief time out here on our big broadcast, and when we come back, we have got more.
To the Jiggy Jaguar on JiggyJaguar.com.
Okay. we have to reset all of our shenanigans and all the nonsense. There was like a power surge or something that came through this morning, and so now all the equipment has to be reconfigured, and it's been so much fun. Because we chose to do that right before the show started. And welcome back to it. It is your world-famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast. Thanks for tuning into the big program from the KJ Radio Studios in downtown Edison, Kansas. We are live, and of course on-demand podcasts are available at iHeartRadio. Live Twitch video on our supersonic website of JiggyJaguar.com. Selected editions, of course, are on iHeartRadio, and live as live can get on KFRK in Denver as well. And we go back to the telephones, and our guest is still with us. She is tremendous. Kristine Grant is with us, and she joins us live here on our big program. And so Kristine, with so many issues or difficulties that seem to be arising nowadays, or since this whole lockdown stuff, how can we help couples, families, to raise above and resurrect healthier connections, my friend?
James, you're absolutely right. During this lockdown pause on planet Earth, so many, so many relationships are suffering, alienating, divorce is up, suicide, depression, all of that. And so one of the things that I want to mention to the audience is when we are emotionally suffering, and by the way, we all have emotional baggage. I say one carry-on is all that's allowed. Everything else is way too costly. So take some time out to appreciate what is positive in the other person or in your relationship dynamic. Be aware of solution focus. In other words, instead of complaining and sort of getting your emotional set point way down there in drudge and misery and alienation and, wanting to toss everything out, divorce, leave, take a pause. Everyone, there's a zeitgeist, if you will. There's a certain energy right now socially that I think a lot of people just feel and they absorb it, especially if you are sensitive to that type of thing. And just listening to the news or, do I take the COVID vaccine, all these stresses. We have our children that I think are at a great disadvantage right now. Couldn't even imagine being a child and wearing a mask, that type of thing. So I think to really look at what are...
We lost her. What happened? Well, apparently Kristine Grant, she was in the middle of chatting there, and she just kind of vanished on us. So we'll get her back here in just a few moments. Thanks for joining us today here on our big program, Coast to Coast, Border to Border on iHeartRadio today. AM, FM, 247.com, tune in, iTunes. Of course, you can find us on Jaguar.com. And we are going to be attempting, I should say attempting over the next couple weeks to get a video server on our website at JiggyJaguar.com. This should be very interesting. I don't exactly know how this is all going to work out. So we are going to call Kristine Grant back and see what happened to her. I don't know. It's not... The number's not working. What happened? Okay. Let's try her on the old Skip Skype. We'll call her on the old Skype-a-rooney here. See what happens. We will see what happens. I don't know.
Hello?
There we are. We lost you.
Oh my goodness, you're kidding. You missed everything.
You were talking along and all of a sudden the phone cut out. So I was waiting on you to call us back. You never called us back, so I figured I'd try it again. I rang the 760 number and it just kept going to voicemail. So I figured I'd try you here on Skype. So we are up against the clock. We're running out of time with you here. We'll have to do this again at some point. But Kristine, how do people get a hold of you online and everything?
Okay. You can get a hold of me through my website, which is KristineGrant.com. Again, I spell my name with a K. So it's Kristine Grant.com or InspiredHeartLetters.com. I would love to come back on the show.
Yes,
I think I have
yes. We have got an entire conversation that we need to have, but we've just run out of time with the phone difficulties. But we will talk to you soon, Kristine. Have yourself a wonderful day, my friend.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you. There
Take
she
care.
goes, Kristine Grant. And we've got to get to Frank Fernuccio. He is going to join us here on the other side. And it's just technical issues abound. Oh, it must be a live show and it must be Tuesday. We've got more coming up.